Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 18th Rome Total War Brotherhood battle that I've put onto YouTube. The team I'm in today consists of Brotherhood member Crimson Overlord, also known as Pain, who has bought the Rome Julii faction. And then myself, Spartan Commander, who has also bought the Rome Julii faction. Also we have Brotherhood member TR, who has bought the Rome Brutii faction. And our last teammate is Brotherhood member Killer B, who has bought the Julii Roman faction. So as you can see, with these four players here, it's a really good team. Wait till you see the other team as well. Here you can see a very old-fashioned army and a very old-fashioned formation here. Some of you that have actually played me on RTW will recognise this formation, but you might not know how old it is. This formation is really old; it's years old, but it kind of still works for me. So I still enjoy using this formation, even though it is years old. Also, if you notice, I've put my cavalry on the right hand side of my part of the map, and that is so when Pain runs his infantry over to my infantry, if any enemy cavalry try to hit him, then my cavalry is there to give him some support. You'll find that most Brotherhood members do this for each other. Here is the other team, and it consists of Brotherhood member Conan, who has bought the SBQR faction. Brotherhood member Mystique, who has also bought the SBQR Roman faction. Brotherhood member Legion 22, who has bought the Scipii Roman faction. And Brotherhood member Uther, who has also bought the Roman Scipii faction. So as you can see, with all the great players, the great Brotherhood players in this game, this should be a great battle to watch. And I think with all the years and years of RTW experience, this should be great. At this stage of the battle, you can see both Mystique and Conan are trying to right flank in action here, including all their infantry and all their cavalry, forcing Crimson Overlord or Pain to actually turn inwards to face them. At this stage of the battle, you can see our teammate, Brotherhood member Killer B, has done a left flank in action on Brotherhood member Uther, trying to turn their flank there. If you notice that Uther's allies are bringing cavalry support over to assist Uther if he needs it, and our teammate, Brotherhood member TR, is bringing infantry support over to help Killer if he needs it. But with all that enemy cavalry coming out over to the left, I think Killer's decided that the best thing is to actually pull back from there, because he certainly doesn't want to get hit in the flank by all that enemy cavalry. As you can see, TR was bringing his infantry across to support if necessary there. So that left flank looks pretty well like one side or the other is going to attack there at any time, I think. As you can see, Crimson Overlord or Pain is bringing his army over from the far right over to the left, as Mystique's, the enemy player Mystique has actually brought her army over there as well. So Pain's shadowing her army with his army. As you can see at this stage of the battle, both Mystique's and Uther's army are facing Killer B's army here. And if you notice that Crimson Overlord, or Pain as he's known in this game, is moving his army over to the far left flank as well to support our teammate Killer B, as he's facing both those armies. As you can see, there's a lot of skirmishing going on there at the moment, especially with cavalry hits on infantry there at the moment. But Crimson's obviously intention there is to probably do a wide left flank in action there. Over on our right, you can see that I'm facing Legion 22's army in front of me, and if you notice that Conan is now running his army over here as well. If you notice, I've turned in a little bit there in anticipation of Conan going to try a flanking attack on my army. as he's running over quite fast here. If you notice that I'm gradually turning a little bit further there, as I am anticipating him going around the right flank as he tries to attack. If you notice, he's brought all his cavalry over as well there, as you can see behind his army. He's brought his cavalry over. So what I'm anticipating here is that he's probably going to hit me with his infantry, and then he's going to smash his cavalry in at the same time. As you can see, half of his army is actually going around to the right flank of mine. So I want to pull back a little bit so I'm not flanked too much. But as you can see, as I pull back, Conan's now sending his cavalry in that has routed a couple of my pilot shield units there. That was a good hit by his cavalry. And if you notice, his infantry is still pressing home their attack on my infantry there. I think what they're going to try and do, they're going to try and break our right flank, and our right flank basically is me, as I'm right on the end there. So I think they're going to try everything to try and break my army. If you notice, his infantry is being extremely aggressive in their attacking technique, and if you notice, his cavalry now are going to do a massive cavalry charge straight into my infantry. And this is, I would think the impact of this is going to rout a few of my units there as it hits. As you see it smashing it, and now you can see Mystique's cavalry going to charge straight into my infantry as well. Seeing the danger here, I'm going to send my cavalry in to try and relieve some of the pressure off my infantry with those two massive cavalry attacks, plus all of Conan's infantry hitting me as well. If you notice, TR has moved a couple of his Brutii units over to my right flank to try and help on my right there. But the main assault is coming in on the front of my army. If you notice, Mystique has brought her army over as well. So not only is my army being attacked by all of Conan's infantry, it's being attacked by most of Mystique's infantry and Conan and Mystique's cavalry as well. I think most RTW players here would probably agree that if my infantry just had gold upgrades on, they would have probably routed and broken by now. And as they routed and broken, they probably would have maybe started a chain rout in TR's army as well. But because I've got good upgrades on my infantry, they've managed to hold there against those massive attacks. And as you see, the attack is still going on very aggressively by both Mystique's and Conan's infantry. Now if you notice there's Conan's cavalry smashing into me once again, and Mystique's cavalry charging in again. As I say, if that was just gold infantry there, I think they would have broken a while ago now. But they're still managing to hold. Even though I'm losing some units, they're still managing to hold against that massive impact. TR's support is really crucial here as well. He's got infantry behind my infantry, and he's got them on the flanks of my infantry as well, stopping enemy infantry getting round. Over on our left, Killer B and Payne are both doing really good on our left. To routing Uther's and Legion 22's army there. I just hope they come across soon, because I think Mystique and Conan have seen that they're losing their right, so what they really want to do is try and smash our right here by destroying myself and TR, and that's why their attack is so aggressive against us. They know that they're running out of time, as their right has collapsed, and our teammates are coming in to support us now. The battle is still really intense at the moment there. It was great that TR supported me so much, because I just don't know how my infantry is managing to hold there, and really the only reason is just because they've got good upgrades on them. As you can see, our victorious teammates on our left now are moving in. They're moving in to support us and take the pressure off of us a bit now. But as you see, the battle is still very intense in front of TR and myself. I'm sending in a cavalry again to try and relieve some of the pressure off my infantry. And as you see, Crimson Overlord and Killer B are both coming across now to face Conan and Mystique's army to try and get to us, to try and help us there. Still really intense. And there as Killer B's cavalry comes in and routs some of Legion 22's infantry that was attacking us there. And I'm going to send my cavalry in again, and TR sending his cavalry in again, in an attempt to try and start a bit of a rout of the enemy forces here. As you can see, basically all our team seemed to attack at once there, and have now caused a mass chain rout of the enemy army. As you can see now, that their whole army is now beginning to rout. That was a massive team attack there, and you know, I think any enemy armies would have routed there with that massive hit. And that was a really great battle. As you can see, my general has got 6 men left in that unit. The general unit's only got 6 men left after the battering it took. As you can see, the few infantry units that are left of mine took a real battering there. But somehow, due to their great upgrades, they managed to hold. And with great support from Brotherhood member TR as well. This was a really close one here on our right. I would just like to say this was a really great battle. If you look at all the names there on the who were in the battle, you can see the years and years of RTW experience there. And if you noticed, each player, there was so many great moves going on around the battlefield. Some absolutely fantastic attacks, some subtle battle moves that you might not really notice, but really make a difference in the larger picture of the battle. And everybody played so well. I'd just like to say really well done to my teammates for their great attack on our left, and then coming over to relieve us as we were under so much pressure on the right. And really well done to the other team too. So many great moves and some really aggressive tactics there. And you know, it was fair play to everybody in the game. So this is Spartan Commander saying I hope you enjoyed the battle, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye for now.